Hi, I'm Toby Kaplan. For more than 30 years, I was a classroom teacher and a mathematics coach, and now I'm working with Symphony Math. We're going to look at a routine that you can use with your whole class, a small group, one-on-one. You can use it remotely. It works for every and any Symphony Math task. Here are the materials you need for today. Your number cards, minus sign and the equal sign, which came from the Symphony Math support page. This number line came from the Checkpoint Journal, Stage 3. And I made this sheet because we'll be using it to work on this problem. We're going to look today at Stage 3.4, Subtraction, missing change to 5. Up to now, students have been taking a whole number and subtracting a part and then finding what part is left over. This kind of subtraction is asking them to come with the whole, end up with something, and try and figure out what's missing. This part-whole work is critical to their work in subtraction and addition, and their work in general as they take on more complex mathematics. We will also do a story problem because context is important for students, particularly when they are trying to understand what subtraction means. We see here a situation that says, create a number line that matches this description. The whole is 4. How many must be taken away to make 2? Well, let's make sense of this. It's saying that we know what the whole amount is, and we have to find how much to take away from 4 in order to be left with 2. Let's use a number line to solve this problem. Watch me. It says here that the whole amount is 4. We can show this by making a jump on the number line to 4. Here's a whole jump to 4. I'm going to label this because I want to keep track and remember how much I'm jumping. That's the whole amount. How much must be taken away to make 2? Okay, well here's 2 on the number line. It's a little marker to remind me I want to land on the 2. I want to end up with 2. Let's see how many we must take away from this whole in order to end up with 2. Well, we take away 1, 2, or I jump back 2. I jump back 2. I'm going to label that because I jump back 2. Tells me that when the whole is 4, we must take 2 away in order to make 2. What do you notice? What do you wonder about? Take a few seconds to think inside your head before you share your ideas. By nurturing, noticing, and wondering, we're asking students to be creative and to share their ideas where they can't be wrong because they're going to say what they notice. If their comments at first are not mathematical, you can nudge them a little bit. You might say, well, why did we start with a jump to 4? What does that 4 tell us? But just listen to what students share and don't judge them and don't correct them. Let's make a number sentence that matches this number line and this description. Okay, so here's our number line. It has a whole of 4. Let's start with the 4. We know that we're going to take away some amount or jump back some amount. I don't know what that is yet, in order to leave us with 2. That's going to give us 2. Okay. So here's the 4. That was our whole. We know that we jump back 1, 2. Let's take away that question mark because I know that I jumped back 2 and that left me with 2. A jump back is like subtracting. Mathematicians would say then 4 minus 2 equals 2. What do you notice? What do you wonder about? After students have had some time to think about this, you want to prod their thinking to see if they understand that the action of jumping back on a number line represents taking away or subtraction. Let them talk, let them share their ideas. Maybe some of them counted on or added up in order to find the missing part. This is what you want to listen for. Whatever they say, it will inform what you do and how you understand what they need next. We're going to do a second task. Here, let's start with this problem. It says Jemai has 5 library books. He returns some of them to the library, and he has 1 book left. How many books did Jemai return to the library? We need to find out, when he started with 5 books, how many did he give back to the library to end up with 1. Let's use a number line to solve this problem. Watch. Well, we know Jemai started with 5 books. That's the whole amount he had to begin with. Let's make a jump to 5. And let's label it so we don't forget that we started with 5 books. We know he has 1 book left. Let's put a little arrow here to remind ourselves that we want to get to that 1 book. We've got to figure out, well, how many did he return? We can do that by jumping backwards. We're going to make a jump 1, 2, 3, 4. So a jump of 4, a jump backwards of 4, let's label that, lands on 1. I can see this amount is the whole amount of books Jemai had. When he gave back 4 of them, he still had 1 left. What do you notice? What do you wonder about? Tell students to do some quiet thinking before they share their ideas. Let them show on the number line how they thought about this problem. Did they understand that jumping backwards was the same as taking away or subtraction? Maybe their practice they've been doing with combinations to 5 helps them know, well, once they have 1 part, which is 1, maybe they know that the other part is 4. Let's make a number sentence that matches this story problem and this number line. Jemai has 5 books. Let's start with the 5. He's going to return some to the library. He's going to be taking away some from his 5, and I know that is subtraction. We don't know how many yet, but we know that he's left with 1 book. Okay, here are his 5 books. We know that when we jump back, that was like taking away 4, and that left Jemai with his 1 book. What do you notice? What do you wonder about? As students think quietly and then share their ideas, we want to encourage them to do this. There's no wrong answer. They're going to tell you what they notice. You might find out if any of the students thought about adding up. You can ask them, well, why did we start with the 5? How did we know to make a jump of 5? You can ask them, where's the hole in the number line? Where's the hole in the number sentence? What's the part that we were given? Where is it in the number line? How can you show the parts that made 5? Ask them if any of them used addition to solve a subtraction problem. Well, how does that work? Does that always work? How does knowing 1 part of 5 help you know the other part? How is a number line helpful in a subtraction problem? When you've decided students have a good grasp on what they're doing, give them some tasks to do. You can find these tasks in the support page, in the guided practice, and in the demo mode. You can also download from the checkpoint any task you want and fill in the numbers that you want. When students have had a time to do some thinking and talking and showing their work on a number line, then you want to bring them together and ask them the guiding questions. These are important concepts: part, whole, subtraction, addition. These are critical for the work that students will do as they go up in the grades. When they are ready, put them back on Symphony Math Stage 3.4, Missing Change to 5. Your dashboard will let you know which students can benefit from additional offline guided practice. Let the students know that they used their number lines to solve missing part problems, and they did a very good job of facing problems and helping their brains grow.